Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Sam can be at the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me show you the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Chanel Mini Rectangular in the black caviar leather and the light gold hardware. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's do your work, let's go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Gail Jackson. What do you think about the marketing stunt recently pulled by Payless Shoes? They invited influencers to purchase Palessi shoes, which were supposed to be high-end designer shoes, but were in fact Payless shoes. I can't imagine how the purchasers felt when they were told the truth. Fortunately, their money was returned as well. When I first saw this story, I thought it was absolutely brilliant on Payless's behalf. Absolutely, you know? And I know that they have upped their game within the last couple of years when it comes to the quality of their shoes, but I would like to assume that fashion influencers and bloggers would know the difference between a high-end shoe and one that is not. And I am by no means whatsoever turning my nose up at Payless. That is not the case. I have fond memories of shoes that I purchased from Payless when I was younger. But I feel that when it comes to fashion bloggers and influencers, like I said, I feel that they would know the difference between a high-end shoe and one that isn't, especially because usually with high-end shoes, I feel that the sole is kind of like a dead giveaway, right? You know, and part of me feels that it was a PR stunt through and through, from them creating the store, getting the buzz, and also those supposed influencers and bloggers. I feel that they ended up paying everybody, and maybe it was kind of faked just to create that buzz that I was talking about. But if that wasn't the case, if these influencers and bloggers were, you know, it was their genuine reaction to these shoes, it just goes to show that people can fall into the rabbit hole thinking that just because something is expensive, you automatically assume that it's far superior. I know I myself, I have fallen into that rabbit hole. And sometimes when it comes to things that are expensive, it most definitely is the quality that you're paying for, you know, whether it's the type of leather, the type of hardware, whatever the case may be. Other times, it is solely just the name. So like I said, I feel like sometimes, you know, people can fall into that rabbit hole. But the fact remains that whether they wanted to attract the attention or whether they wanted to create a buzz or whatever the case may be, they most certainly got it. They actually ended up increasing their sales because of this PR stunt. So my hat's off to Payless for doing something like this. And it just goes to show, like I said before, what people would end up believing. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this story. What did you think? I will try my hardest to put some type of links on the description box below if you guys haven't read up on it, but I thought it was genius. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Stephanie B. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name because I can already tell I'm going to butcher it, so my apologies. I'm a real Chanel girl, but I've always played it safe because of the price point of these bags. I have 3 black ones and I'm on the waiting list for the beige classic flap as we speak. For upcoming spring and summer, I'm really loving the pink minis from the Cruise 2019 collection. As pink is definitely hot now, what will it be in 5 years? For this reason, I'm kind of torn between the Chanel Pink Mini and the Louis Vuitton Pink New Wave. What are your thoughts on this bag? I really like how versatile it is, something that I miss on the Chanel Mini. This is an awesome question, and before I get any further, let me insert a picture of the Louis Vuitton New Wave right now. And for further eye candy, here is the Chanel Mini Rectangular in the pink from the Cruise 2019 collection. Now I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to the versatility of this bag. I feel like this chain, you can end up taking it off, and if you go to hide it, it really takes away from anything else that you can carry inside of the bag. So I think because it's already a smaller handbag, you have to be a little bit more calculated as to what it is that you carry inside of it. But I think it is a beautiful, beautiful silhouette. Now, the Louis Vuitton New Wave, I know that a lot of people love this this new collection. You know, they really like the colors that they came out with, and they really like the details. Personally, it is not for me. And even though I do appreciate it, and I most definitely appreciate the versatility that it has, kind of like what you mentioned, I feel like this bag is very cute. I feel like it's very fun. I also think that it's, I think it's a great, you know, bag from the moment, but I feel that there's a couple different things that it has that might end up dating the bag further on down the line. The first one being the colors that it has, you know, because you have one color on the bag, and then you have the multicolor on the top handle. So I think that little detail, even though it's really, really fun, I think that it might end up dating the bag within a few years' time. I also feel that the design that they chose for the leather also ends up dating it. Not necessarily for handbags, but more so dating it from the fashion house, if that makes any sense. And when it comes to the Chanel Mini, I feel like even though the color itself is very, very popular, I feel that with color, it's always going to be a matter of personal preference. Like for myself, pink has always been in my life. I think it always will be. Between pink and red, those are definitely my signature colors. So I think it's a matter of personal preference when it comes to colors in the mini, because I don't see anything from the silhouette that it has that ends up dating the bag. You know, it doesn't have any charms on the chain. It doesn't have a heart on the back. It doesn't have really anything that would end up causing it to kind of fade out as the years go by, just because it is a very, very simple design. But those are just my 2 cents on it. I feel that between the two, this one is going to be a little bit more classic in that sense, and the Louis Vuitton New Wave might be a little bit more of an it bag, but it's all a matter of what it is that makes your heart sing. If you love the versatility, if you love the colors of the New Wave, then most definitely end up going for that one. If you're a little bit apprehensive about going for the beige Chanel or anything like that, then I would maybe hold off on it a little bit longer. But it's all a matter of what it is that makes your heart sing. It's all a matter of personal preference. And with colors, I feel that it's, you know, it's kind of like if that's your signature color, that's your signature color. But I think both of them would be great additions to your collection. And if you want to go for something maybe a little bit more classic, or if you want to go for a really fun handbag, then end up going for the Louis Vuitton one. But I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully that was able to help. Next question from Kathy Cruz. Just wondering, being a handbag addict and all, there are so many handbags in the fashion houses that I love, and the fashion for handbags comes and goes so fast. One minute you'll see everyone has it, and the next it's not the it bag anymore. My question is, when you look at your collection, how would you know if you don't need any more, or if you have a list that you go through of what bag you're missing or looking for that would fill that gap or missing piece? This is an awesome, awesome question. All right, so you know, for the most part, I feel that I have a tendency to go for handbags that are very versatile. You know, I like to be able to incorporate them into various aspects of my life. And that to me is important. Not only that, I feel that the cost per wear ends up being considerably lower. But realistically, I don't think I need more than 2 handbags. I know everyone will end up seeing this differently, but if I was to be completely honest with myself, if I have a handbag that I can use in a casual setting, and if I have a handbag that I use in a formal setting or something that's a little bit smaller, then I think those 2 bags would end up, you know, would end up doing the job. And now it's not necessarily about adding a certain type of silhouette, because for the most part, I feel that the majority of my handbags have the same type of style. It's a matter of introducing different fashion houses into my collection nowadays, you know, because I feel that they're all pretty much medium, they're all pretty much versatile. They can all pretty much end up going from a day setting into a night setting, no problem. And it goes back to the whole purse addict thing. I have always loved handbags, and I think I always will. So for me, just, you know, I don't think I'll ever get to that purse piece. Never say never. I know that we've talked about purse piece before, but I feel like once I have this certain type of silhouette and once I have this certain type of color, you know, I'm always constantly looking out for something else. I don't necessarily have the gimmies anymore, but I'm still always looking. And at this point in time, I'm very, I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space, and I have that maybe I have purse piece mentality. But my very good friend Lisa, or LB, she's also a YouTuber. Make sure and check her out. She made a tag video about 1.5 years ago that kind of opened my eyes to how I view my collection. The tag video was a handbag for every occasion, and even though I had a blast filming that video, it also kind of took me back because I felt that a lot of the bags that I have end up serving that same purpose, you know? So like I said, for me, it's not necessarily about going for a certain type of silhouette or a certain type of detail that I'm missing. It's more so about wanting to add brand variety. And another thing that I wanted to throw out there just in case, it's also a matter of the type of material that you're going for. For example, when it comes to canvas, when I think of a canvas handbag, if I'm looking to add a canvas handbag, I always end up going for Louis Vuitton because I feel that they do it better than anybody in the business. And if I want to go for a leather handbag, then I end up going for this fashion house or for that fashion house. So I don't know, it's all a matter of personal preference, but this is a very, very interesting topic, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Do you feel that you have purse piece? Do you feel that you're constantly looking for that one detail that a fashion house does better than the other? Or do you feel that you only need 2 handbags? Whatever the case may be, I would love to hear your thoughts on the comment section down below. So fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from JC. If you shop something that's expensive, would you shop with your husband or best friend, or would you rather shop alone? To be honest, I like to shop alone and use it without them seeing it at first. And after some time when they saw it, I just say, I got this days or months ago. That is an awesome strategy. But whenever I'm shopping for something expensive or inexpensive, I like to shop with people, whether that's with my hubby, my mom, my best friend, whoever it is. Just because I'm one of those types that likes to comment on whatever it is that I'm looking at. I know some people might find that annoying, but I like to comment whether it's, if we're going through this aisle, if it's this, that, or whatever it is. Yeah, I feel like I always have something to say. So when I have someone with me, it makes it a whole lot easier, but that also doesn't stop me when I'm by myself. So between the two, I prefer to shop with someone, but when I am by myself and I do make those comments, sometimes I'll make them out loud. And if I'm in an aisle, for example, you know, if there's someone else in the aisle, they'll hear it or they'll say something else. And then that leads into a completely different conversation. And I'll end up talking to a complete stranger for like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm having a blast, you know? So my family always jokes around. They're like, you can make friends with anybody. I think it's just because I'm such a talkative person. But yeah, between the two, I'll do both, but out of preference, most definitely shopping with someone, just so I have something to say or someone to talk to, because then I feel like I'm crazy if I'm just kind of walking around just making comments to to nobody, you know? I don't know, but I would love to know, are you guys the same way, or do you prefer to shop alone? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comment section down below. But like I said, I think that is an awesome strategy about the whole, oh, well, what are you talking about? I got this days ago. I got this months ago. Pff, you're not even noticing or whatever, you know? So that is awesome. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Hannah Duckwitz. When it comes to the reverse monogram in Louis Vuitton, what are your thoughts? I've been eyeing the Palm Springs Mini in the reverse monogram. Something about it is so cute and calling my name, but I don't want to purchase something that could typically be trendy. The reverse monogram, I am a huge fan. I absolutely love it. Not only am I a sucker for monogram, but I think that the reverse monogram is beautiful. And I didn't really feel that way when I first saw it. You know, I didn't know how I felt, but the more and more that I've seen it, the more and more I've started to fall in love with it. And I know that it's very popular at the moment, but I personally don't see it kind of fading out. I don't see it as, even though it's trendy now, I don't see it kind of being dated as the years go by, just because it is a play on the monogram print. I think that if it was a completely different color, or if it was maybe a brighter color, then I can kind of see it being a little bit dated, just because it might be a little too playful. But no, I think that it's a classic. I think that hopefully it'll be a staple for the fashion house, but I definitely don't think it's trendy by any means whatsoever. So I say, if you love it, absolutely go for it. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Leslie Craven. Why not a Neverfull and Epi leather? You have all three canvases. I love the Neverfull and Epi leather. I think it is beautiful, and I also like the fact that it's very understated. But the main reason why I don't foresee myself adding one to my collection anytime soon is because it is an all leather tote. And because of how I end up using my totes, I seem to carry everything and the kitchen sink. I think that that leather would end up making it a little bit heavier already. And then when I go to put all of my items inside, it might end up being a little bit it might end up being a little too uncomfortable for me. You know, it does have that gorgeous microfiber lining, and even though I love it, I also feel that it kind of ends up adding weight to it. So if I have the weight of the microfiber and I also have that beautiful leather on top of all of my items, I think it would make for a very heavy handbag. But I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, maybe you can carry a little bit less. Trust me, I agree with you. But there are times that I feel like I'm kind of like a moth to the flame. I've said this before. When it comes to a tote, I just feel compelled to carry more. You know, if I have an open space, I'm like, oh, this will fit in here and this will fit in there. And what about this? I don't know what my deal is. I don't know what my problem is, but I end up just stuffing it with more and more. So like I said, it would make it a little too, a little bit heavier than I would like. But do I love them? I do. And do I appreciate them? Absolutely. I just don't see myself ever adding one to my collection because of that. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Steph Summers. What's your favorite thing about Chanel? All right, so there are many things that I love about Chanel, But I'd have to say that ultimately it comes down to the history behind the brand. And you guys know I'm kind of like a history buff whenever it comes to these fashion houses. She grew up in an orphanage, she had a vision, and that vision came to fruition. That just goes to show that if you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. If you have a dream, it can become a reality. And I think that's incredible. Not only that, I love the fact that she never forgot where she came from. And she made sure to implement details of her past life into her brand. And I think that's incredible, you know? So like I said, I love so many different things about the brand, about the fashion house, but just ultimately just the history behind it is what I really end up appreciating about it the most. But I would love to know, if you like Chanel, what's your favorite thing about the brand? If you want to let us know in the comment section down below, that would be awesome. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Darcy L. Assuming you still work in the jewelry world, do you find that you are a jewelry snob? Can you pick out fine jewels, fakes, cheap materials, etc.? Also, I know that you got the gold locket from the Hubs this year for your B-Day. Did you pick it out, or is he just that good? My fiance is great at picking out jewelry. Bragging here. I asked because I used to sell shoes and can spot fakes, dupes, and cheapy shoes from a mile away. Not that I judge, I just find myself looking, haha. All right, awesome question. And I never worked in the jewelry world. That would be very dangerous for me because I don't think I would ever bring home a paycheck, to be completely honest. But as far as the gold locket goes, he picked it out on his own. However, he's been wanting to gift me a locket for a few years now. I had one when I still have one that my parents gave me when I was younger. And it no longer fits, and it's very, very near and dear to my heart. So he wanted to get me something similar. And do I find that I am a jewelry snob? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have no place to be a jewelry snob, because even though I think I'm pretty good at, knowing if something is a diamond, or if it's a cubic zirconia, or if it's a lab created sapphire, or if it's not, I think I'm pretty good at that. As well as the types of materials that the jewelry is made from. But like I said, I have no place being a jewelry snob, because I like super gaudy, just in your face type of jewelry. Sometimes I like the fine jewelry. Other times I love costume jewelry, you know? The more gaudy it is, the more obnoxious it is, the better I like it. I love to wear cocktail rings when I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans. That's my favorite thing to do. But yeah, I'm definitely not a jewelry snob by any means whatsoever. But what I will say is that as the years have gone by, I used to buy fashion jewelry from luxury fashion houses, and I haven't had the best success with them. So I've noticed that I kind of tend to stay away from them a little bit more, and I'd like to be able to save a little bit more and put that money towards fine jewelry instead of fashion jewelry when it comes to luxury fashion houses. But overall, I mean, Swarovski crystals, that store always makes me just so happy. And like I said, going for their cocktail rings, and just the more in your face, the more just, I don't know, some people are like, oh, why are you wearing that? I'm like, are you kidding me? This is me to a T. So jewelry snob, nope, by any means whatsoever, I am not. I have no place to be, because someone that likes gaudy fashion jewelry as much as I do, I don't think really can be a snob, right? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but no. I like to have fun with all types of jewelry. I mean, anything that's shiny, anything. Whether it's expensive, whether it's inexpensive, whether you get a Charming Charlie or Cartier, I am game for anything. So I definitely don't discriminate when it comes to jewelry by any means whatsoever. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. For this week's lineup, I don't know when I'm going to see you again. I have a few things going on, but regardless, you guys will see me next Monday with another MMQA. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day.